उठाते हैं तो उसको चर्चा का अवकाश नहीं मिलता।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट से मॉनिटर्ड इसकी पूरी जांच कराओ और जेपीसी बनाओ। इस डिमांड के साथ हम लोग पार्लियामेंट में अपनी आवाज आज भी उठाए हैं।
Demand for Parliament panel probe grows. Adani showdown. Top focus on 6 p.m. Prime.
Good evening. You're watching 6 p.m. Prime here on India Today. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. No doubt the biggest story of the day and what everyone in the country is talking about right now is the Adani controversy. So as expected, it echoed in Parliament as well, which meant essentially that we saw barely about 6 minutes of the House being session, both houses, before it was completely disrupted and there was zero discussion, zero debate that took place. We're going to be getting you all the latest updates from Parliament. A look at the headlines first. As Adani FPO is called off, sources say India's market regulator is examining a rout in the shares of Adani. RBI also puts Adani in watch list. Auspicious Shaligram Shila in Ayodhya. Holy rocks to be used for making the deities. Devotees worship holy rocks in Ayodhya. ED's explosive claim says Delhi liquor scam cash was used to fund UP's poll campaign in Goa and top leadership vouched for key accused Vijay Nair. Kejriwal dismisses charge sheet, calls all allegations fictional. Kerala journalist Siddique Kappan walks out of jail, arrested 2 years ago on charges of creating communal unrest and terror charges after the rape and murder of a Dalit woman in Hathras. YS Sharmila dares Telangana Chief Minister again, gifts shoes to KCR, asking him to walk with her for a day on her padayatra. And trouble continues to mount for Pakistan. IMF rejects Pak's revised debt management plan, calls it unrealistic. And let's begin with an exclusive India Today news break on the Delhi liquor gate. The first time that Arvind Kejriwal's name has been mentioned in the ED charge sheet in the liquor scam probe. And we've got all the details here on India Today of what's been mentioned in the ED charge sheet. Let's bring you some of the highlights. According to the charge sheet, the Enforcement Directorate's claim is that Kejriwal spoke to accused, one of the accused, Sameer Mahendra, on FaceTime, and the call was arranged by AAP Communications in charge, Vijay Nair, who is another accused in this case. Reportedly, Kejriwal vouched for Vijay Nair to Sameer Mahendra on this very video call. And in fact, the ED charge sheet, the specifics that's mentioned, Kejriwal reportedly told Sameer Mahendra that Vijay Nair is my boy, he can be trusted. ED in the charge sheet also says that accused Mahendra said that control of 65% stakes in his Indo-Spirits business was with K. Kavita, BRS MLC, and an Andhra MP, MSR, also known as Magunta Srinivasulu Reddy. ED alleges that apart from the video call, Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal had also met with this Andhra MP Reddy, who wanted to indulge in the liquor business in the national capital. Munish Pandey is joining us live with more details on this. Munish, explosive claims being made by the Enforcement Directorate. For the first time, Arvind Kejriwal's name also being dragged in. We've seen Sisodia time and again facing the heat in this case. Now, according to ED, Arvind Kejriwal was directly in contact with the likes of Vijay Nair, Sameer Mahendra, and even with an Andhra MP, all of it to do with the liquor trade.
Well, Akshita, this is explosive and this is big. As far as the Enforcement Directorate is concerned, remember, so far they were investigating Manish Sisodia, but in the fresh charge sheet, what they have claimed that Arvind Kejriwal was also not only aware of this, but he spoke to certain accused in the case. Now, what it essentially means that Sameer Mahendra and Vijay Nair are two important people in this entire case. Just to give a little background about Vijay Nair was not only communication in charge of Aam Aadmi Party, but he is someone, according to ED and CBI, who conspired the entire liquor scam, who was collecting money from the liquor businessmen. Sameer Mahendra is a person who is Delhi-based businessman, but he was involved in not only doing business, but he was also involved in doing certain meetings with Vijay Nair. Now, ED has claimed that when Sameer Mahendru initiated this business with Vijay Nair, then a meeting was arranged so that there can be a confidence-building exercise between the Delhi Chief Minister and this businessman Sameer Mahendru. But when physical meeting couldn't take place, then a FaceTime call was arranged by Vijay Nair. In that FaceTime call, Arvind Kejriwal told Sameer Mahendru, according to ED, that Vijay Nair is my boy, you can trust him and you can carry on with him. Later, there were several meetings, not only between Vijay Nair and Sameer Mahendru, but certain politicians. And when the kickbacks of over 100 crore rupees was received, Sameer Mahendru was also involved in it. So it becomes very big and very serious allegation against Arvind Kejriwal. Now, the second part is that apart from this video call, there was a physical meeting between an Andhra MP, MS Reddy, and Arvind Kejriwal. Now, that Andhra MP wanted to meet Arvind Kejriwal only because he was interested in this new liquor scheme of Delhi, the new liquor scheme of Delhi. And when he met Arvind Kejriwal, according to ED, welcomed him and said that you can continue doing business in the national capital. So these are serious allegations against Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party is saying that these allegations are baseless, but ED is claiming that they have statements from certain accused, and after gathering the evidence, they have mentioned this in the charge sheet, which is available with India Today. Akshita.
All right, Munish, thanks for joining us with all of those details. We'll continue tracking the latest that comes in from this. Arvind Kejriwal, meanwhile, reacting to this, has referred to the ED charge sheet as completely fictional, dismissing all of the claims that have been made by the Enforcement Directorate. Let's play out for you what Kejriwal said.
ईडी की कितनी चार्जशीट अभी तक 5000 चार्जशीट फाइल की होंगी ईडी ने अपने पूरे इस सरकार के कार्यकाल में, उसमें से कितने लोगों को सजा हुई? ईडी की सारे केस फर्जी हैं। ईडी के केस केवल सरकारें गिराने और सरकारें बनाने के लिए इस्तेमाल किए जाते हैं। ईडी के केसेस, ईडी जो है भ्रष्टाचार खत्म करने के लिए थोड़ी केस करती है। ईडी तो केवल एमएलए, इन लोगों की सरकारों को एमएलए खरीदने के लिए, एमएलए तोड़ने के लिए, सरकारें बनाने के लिए, सरकारें गिराने के लिए इस्तेमाल किया जाता है। तो ईडी की चार्जशीट एक कोरा फिक्शन है।
All right, let's move on to our top story of the day. The Adani controversy echoing in Parliament. Both houses adjourned till tomorrow. This after a united opposition came together saying we want only one issue to be discussed, and that is the Adani controversy. Under the leadership of Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge, you had key opposition parties, nearly 10 of them, coming together, launching a scathing attack on the central government and questioning why Prime Minister Narendra Modi hasn't spoken on this issue yet. They've put forth a number of demands. The primary, most basic of that is that a joint parliamentary committee be set up to look into the serious allegations against the Adani Group.
प्रश्नों से समस्या हल समाधान होती है। प्लीज जाइए अपने मिशन पर।
This is all that happened in Parliament today.
आज 2 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
As the Adani controversy snowballed, the opposition had a one-point agenda for the budget session to demand answers from the government on the Hindenburg Adani papers. With the government making it clear that question hour will not be dropped, both houses were in session for a total of 6 minutes through the day.
The House stands adjourned to meet at 1100 hours on Friday, 3rd February 2023.
In a rare show of unity, opposition parties came together to raise their voice against the government and insist on an in-depth probe. The Congress led the fight both in and outside the House on the Adani showdown.
हमने एक नोटिस दी थी 267 के तहत, और ये नोटिस पे हम चर्चा चाहते थे, लेकिन हर वक्त हमारे नोटिसेस रिजेक्ट होते हैं और महत्वपूर्ण जो विषय है, मुद्दे हैं, जब हम उठाते हैं तो उसको चर्चा का अवकाश नहीं मिलता।
Other parties have echoed Congress's stand, accusing the Prime Minister of shielding Adani.
अमृतकाल में ये महाघोटाला है और इस महाघोटाले पे सदन में चर्चा कराओ, सुप्रीम कोर्ट से मॉनिटर्ड इसकी पूरी जांच कराओ और जेपीसी बनाओ। इस डिमांड के साथ हम लोग पार्लियामेंट में अपनी आवाज आज भी उठाए हैं, आगे भी उठाते रहेंगे।
जिस तरीके से घोटाला हम देख रहे हैं 2014 से एक ही ग्रुप को जिस तरीके का फायदा हो रहा है, फोर्ब्स में नंबर 3 या 4 पे आ जाते हैं और अब गिरावट हो रही है, ये सिर्फ स्टॉक मैनिपुलेशन और स्टॉक की ओवर प्राइसिंग की वजह से हुआ है। इसीलिए हम चाह रहे हैं कि एक जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी का गठन हो।
We want a proper investigation into what has happened, why this happened, and from the beginning. We can't just have these responses and close the chapter.
Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee meanwhile claimed that the government was close to collapse as a result of the market crash.
কালকে তো প্রায় সরকার পড়ে যাচ্ছিল। কেন পড়ে যাচ্ছিল? শেয়ার বাজারে ধস নেমেছিল। এবার কাউকে কাউকে রিকোয়েস্ট করে, আমরা জানি তারা কারা, নামগুলো বলে আর আমি তাদের দুর্বিষহ করতে চাই না।
The showdown in Parliament is only likely to escalate in the coming days as the government has refused to budge, saying that the slotted discussion on the President's address must be allowed to go on. With the opposition breathing fire on the government over the Adani controversy, how long can the government hold off on a discussion in Parliament? Bureau Report, India Today.
And joining us this evening on 6 p.m. Prime is Priyanka Chaturvedi, Member of Parliament in the Rajya Sabha from the Shiv Sena. Ma'am, thank you very much for speaking to us here on India Today. Good evening to you. You were a part this morning of the opposition's show of strength and the solidarity when you put out a message saying that the discussion in Parliament right now should be on what's happening in the Adani group. In the last 24 hours, Ms. Chaturvedi, we've seen the SEBI ordering a probe. They're saying they'll submit a report within 48 hours. The RBI has put out a notice to banks. In light of all of that, what is your and the United Opposition's demands right now?
See, firstly, SEBI, after coming under intense pressure and scrutiny, and something that the market regulator should have been tracking and tracing, has come via a report from USA. And that is what is unfortunate. Today, lots of investors, whether they are retail investors or these institutional investors who hold on to a lot of funds coming from retail investors, have invested in these particular stocks. These stocks were bought at a price which was manipulated, a stock which was overpriced. And all this manipulation was happening from companies, registered overseas. This should have all come from the SEBI. SEBI is reacting now simply because you're seeing the kind of wealth that has been wiped out overnight over past 4 days. They were just silent about it. What we want is a discussion on this. What we want is a probe on this, which involves parliamentary committee, set up a joint parliamentary committee, so that we understand what the truth is. People of the country deserve to know, investors deserve to know that the money, the hard-earned money that they're investing in, is it being used to prop up one particular group? From 2014 onwards, if you look at the trajectory, right from a critical infrastructure of ports, airports, right to minerals, coal, we're looking at even cement. Everything is owned by one person and one group, is actually puts a lot of, we need to bring in a lot of clarity, and there has to be transparency. So this is what we are seeking. And we did not create a ruckus. The intention was not to create a ruckus. The intention was to have a discussion. But if discussion is being denied because the government does not have any answers, or government is shielding a particular group, then that is something we will be protesting about.
There was a mention of the all-party meeting before the budget session began. What was the communication then? Was the government open to a discussion on Adani, contrary to what we see right now, at least in Parliament?
Absolutely. On that particular day, I was part of the all-party meeting, where besides me, many other political party floor leaders have raised this issue that this needs to be discussed. This is about investor confidence, investor wealth. You've seen over 1,48,000 crore being wiped out in a period of 3-4 days is absolutely unheard of. And someone pulling back his FPO is also something that we need to probe. How many people have invested in the FPO which was overpriced? When the market price was at 2,000 odd, people, the institutional investors or whoever has been investing from overseas have bought it at 3,000 rupees.
Yeah, he said it's a moral decision.
So who are the ones who are overexposed? Is LIC overexposed? Is SBI overexposed? And why? Are they putting hard-earned money, or people's hard-earned money who put money in these banks and insurance companies are misusing these funds to prop up a group? So those are questions which are very relevant questions that need to be answered.
So right now, there's been no communication really from the government. But when we tried to reach out to Mr. Pralhad Joshi, for example, ma'am, he said very clearly that we are supposed to have a discussion on the president's address right now. So 4 days down the line, once that schedule is done, we can discuss other issues. Is the opposition jumping the gun by saying we need it today? Is that being too hasty?
No, it is not about being hasty. It's about having discussed this in the all-party meeting and saying that if the government has nothing to hide, if the government believes in transparency. Now, please, we must understand in 2014, they came on the agenda of zero tolerance to corruption. And we are seeing one corporate company grow the way it has done in the size and the volume, and owning most of India's critical infrastructure should come under the scope of debate and discussion. So Mr. Pralhad Joshi has been committing that, oh, we will allow discussion to happen, but they haven't really come good on any discussion till now. We've seen only after so much protest with the farmer laws withdrawn. We never saw it discussed in the parliament, never deliberated in the parliament, just ran through a decision. This is not going to work in this particular case. There are lakhs and millions of investors invested
but then
because
what's
of this
the solution,
manipulation. And
you know,
they will lose confidence in the
Today,
markets.
day 3 of the budget session, I was counting essentially to see how long really the House was in session. Both put together at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. in all just about 6 minutes that Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha was in session, when again there was obviously no business. Is this going to be another washout session then?
No, we do not intend it to be a wash-off session, while the government wants it to be a washout session, simply because they don't have answers to these questions. That why was a blind eye turned to something that was happening over a period of time? And what the research findings could have found out through a US-based company, why could our Indian regulatory market not see that happen? And we also want the parliament to run, but the 6 minutes that you're talking about, this is how the government wants to function it. They adjourned it without even listening to us. We want to ensure that the parliament runs. We want to discuss the budget. I would want to speak on the president's address. But why can't you address something which is the biggest challenge, biggest elephant in the room?
Okay, you've raised a fair point there when you say that, you know, at this point, this is the issue that the entire country is talking about. So maybe we should keep that in mind when the parliament is also in session. Thank you very much, Priyanka Chaturvedi, for taking the time out and joining us here on India Today. The opposition, Priyanka Chaturvedi included, making it clear that they're not going to let go of this issue. They're going to seek those answers from the government in the coming days during the budget session. I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, we're getting you details of the other big story of the day. Kerala journalist Siddique Kappan, who's been behind bars in Lucknow for the last many years, has finally walked out of jail after 2 whole years.
On one hand, the grand construction of Ram Temple is underway and there is a huge preparation. But on the other hand, both the Shaligrams which have come from Nepal has now reached Ayodhya. We are here at the Ram Kar Sevak Puram and you can see these are the 2 Shaligrams through which the structure of Lord Ram and Lord Goddess Sita will be made. Now, there has been a long journey from Nepal to Bihar to Uttar Pradesh, and late night yesterday, both these Shaligram have reached here in Ayodhya. And today, by the saints and the important dignitaries, these Shaligrams will be worshipped, and after that, the work of constructing the statue of Lord Ram and Goddess Sita will begin. It is also very important with the fact how the construction of the Grand Ram Temple is going on in full swing. It is expected that it will be inaugurated next year at the time of Makar Sankranti. But before that, both these Shaligrams which has come from Nepal will become in a situation where people will be able to see the image and their divine Lord Ram and Goddess Sita through this. It is also very important that not just it is a matter of an auspiciality for all the people of Ayodhya, but at the same time, a big moment for all these people who have been waiting for this moment, for these shilas, for these shaligrams to take the image and the structure of Lord Ram and Goddess Sita, which will be done here in Ayodhya after a long wait. With cameraman Neeraj Kumar, Abhishek Mishra for India Today.
Ranbir Kapoor is one of the few Indian actors in the Hindi film industry who has successfully managed to find the balance between commercial entertainers and content-driven cinema. Born in the famous Kapoor Khandan, cinema and films ran in the superstar's blood. After completing his schooling and college in Mumbai, Ranbir moved to New York City to learn filmmaking. Upon returning to Mumbai, he worked with Sharmila Bhansali as an assistant director on his 2005 hit Black. On the silver screen, the actor's big break came with Sharmila Bhansali, who ironically happens to be the same director who Ranbir worked with as an assistant director. And then finally debuted with Savarya.
मान लो जिंदगी एक बॉक्सिंग रिंग है और दुख आपका हरीफ, उसके हजारों हाथ हैं, लेकिन आपके सिर्फ दो। वो जब भी सामने आए डरो मत, उसकी आंखों में आंखें डालकर देखो और समझो, जानो उसकी ताकत को पहचानो।
His first film may have turned out to be a flop, but this was followed by a slew of hits. He played the main lead in 2008's Bachna Hai Hasino, which went on to become his first commercial hit.
जी मैं राज, वहीं का फ्रेंड।
And in 2009, Ranbir collaborated with Ayan Mukherjee for the first time in Wake Up Sid, a coming-of-age drama that was critically and commercially hit. Ranbir's restrained performance as a confused teenager garnered critical acclaim and established him as a bona fide actor.
गर्मी की वजह से पागल हो रही हो?
हाँ, पागल हो रही हूँ।
अरे तो मैं क्या करूँ यार? आसमान से बारिश बरसाऊं?
क्यों नहीं? जब इतने एफिशिएंट हो गए हर चीज में, तो ये भी करके दिखाओ ना।
लो।
He was the golden boy of the film fraternity, the rage who could do no wrong. Ranbir starred in commercial entertainers such as Ajab Prem Ki Gajab Kahani,
Welcome back. 2 years after he was jailed, Kerala journalist Siddique Kappan has walked out of the Lucknow jail today. Remember that he was booked under the UAPA and money laundering charges, and that's why it's taken 2 years for him to finally walk out.
Siddique Kappan walks out after spending more than 2 years in jail in Uttar Pradesh. Arrested on charges of attempt to create communal trouble in Hathras following the alleged rape and murder of a Dalit woman, the journalist from Kerala says he will fight for justice. Kappan turned emotional as he tasted freedom after long incarceration.
कितना लंबा संघर्ष करना पड़ा फैमिली को, अब आपकी पत्नी भी आई हुई है, फैमिली सफर किया आपका?
बहुत बड़ा मेहनत किया भाई। मेरा माँ इंतकाल हुआ इस जेल के अंदर, मेरा जेल के अंदर, मेरा वाइफ और बच्चे के एजुकेशन सब देखो।
Kappan was granted bail by a special sessions court in Lucknow. UP police had picked him up along with 3 others when they were on their way to Hathras from Delhi. The police claimed Kappan and associates were involved in a conspiracy to incite violence in Hathras. The investigators allege he is linked to the Popular Front of India, a radical Islamist organization now banned by the Government of India. Kappan was charged with sedition. He was also booked under the Anti-Terror Law, UAPA and Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Kappan has always maintained he was going to Hathras on an assignment given to him by a Malayalam media house.
मीडिया पर्सन, हमारा मोबाइल में कितना लोगों को मोबाइल नंबर है। मेरा मोबाइल में बीजेपी लीडर्स को मोबाइल नंबर है, आरएसएस लीडर को मोबाइल नंबर है, पॉपुलर फ्रंट नेता को मोबाइल नंबर है। आपका फोन में एक मोबाइल नंबर है तो उस किसी का कनेक्शन बन सकता है।
The Supreme Court had granted Kappan bail in September last year, but he remained in a Lucknow jail in the money laundering case filed by the Enforcement Directorate. While Kappan is out on bail, he still faces a long fight to get his name cleared. Bureau Report, India Today.
Santosh Sharma is joining us live from Lucknow with more on this. Santosh, you also spoke to Siddique Kappan and he's made a case for himself saying, that the charges against me were false and I was jailed for 2 years despite that. Now that he's walked out of jail, Santosh, this is only temporary reprieve, yes? The case hasn't been dismissed at all.
Yes, we have spoke to Siddique Kappan and he claimed that the investigating agency, whether it was the UPSC or the UP police, those who have arrested Siddique Kappan along with his 2 other companions, they allege that Siddique Kappan is having a connection with the banned organization PFI. On that behalf, we have asked about PFI connection to Siddique Kappan. He claimed that I'm a journalist and I'm having so many numbers connecting to the leaders of BJP, even RSS, and but also with PFI leaders also in my phone book. It doesn't mean that I'm having any PFI connection. And second, other thing that what the case lost by the ED in the PMLA Act, he said that he got the 5,000, only 5,000 rupees under PMLA Act. On this question, Siddique Kappan claimed that he never get any foreign currency or foreign help of 5,000. He was having only one book and one laptop, and he was going to Hathras for the report the incident.
Okay, so we'll track what happens in this. Siddique Kappan continuing to maintain that he's completely innocent, falsely framed by authorities in Uttar Pradesh. Thanks for the moment, Santosh, for getting us all the updates on that story. I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side, we're getting you details of why YS Sharmila held up a pair of shoes and issued a dare to KCR. What was that all about? We'll tell you in just a bit.
Athleisure has become quite the trend post-pandemic and is here to stay in 2023. It's a hybrid style of inculcating athletic wear in our everyday outfits.
I think the word here is most comfortable, in fact, not just comfort. You feel, very liberated in those clothes. It feels like a second skin, literally. And, you can go out in them, you can sleep in them, you can go to the gym in them. So, yeah.
Initially popularized by women, Athleisure has branched into men's clothing now. The market acquisition of Athleisure is growing rampantly. They are even replacing traditional activewear and even cutting into jeans sales.
I would say the total market size for the sportswear is somewhere close to 10,000 crores, out of which I think 20 to 25% is occupied by Athleisure and growing at the rate of 25 to 30% year on year.
Athleisure has carved out a niche for itself in the clothing industry.
Nowadays, everybody is so, especially post the pandemic, everybody's just so, health conscious, and you see so many people out on the road doing some sort of activity or another. And, every other corner there's a gym or there's some people doing something physical, which is great. So I think, people tend to be usually in their athleisure outfits, I would say through the day.
Yoga pants, gym wears, leggings, shorts have unapologetically become our go-to outfit. Be it casual dinners, going to a mall or office, athleisure is here to stay. The craze over sneakers has made some of the top international brands foray into it, with women now wearing them for comfort with dresses and even saris. There has been a massive influx in variety of active wears today. Active wears have become a part of everyday routine. Athleisure is a trend that is here to stay. Riya Modi, Lifestyle Bureau, India Today.
A B.Tech graduate in Madhya Pradesh is scripting a success story in dairy farming. Anil Patidar from Modi village, located 45 kilometers away from Agar Malwa district headquarters, chose to stay close to his roots and started his dairy in 2018.
मैंने सन 2014 में बीटेक किया है आरजीपी यूनिवर्सिटी भोपाल से, और आज मेरे पास, मैंने सोचा पहले कि जॉब में तो खुद का बिजनेस रहेगा नहीं, दूसरों के अंडर में काम करना पड़ेगा। मैंने डेयरी फार्म स्टार्ट किया, 8 गायों से मैंने शुरुआत की और आज मेरे पास 100 से 105 गायें हैं।
From cutting fodder to milking cows, Patidar relies on machines to manage his business. The venture that started with 4 cows now has more than 100. The business, he claims, is making big profit.
मेरे पास 600 से 700 लीटर दूध पर डे का रहता है।
कितना होता है आमदनी क्या?
अब इसमें सर 60-40 का रेशियो रहता है। मान लो जैसे कि 600 लीटर दूध है, 40 रुपये लीटर के हिसाब से जोड़ा अपन ने, तो 24,000 का दूध हुआ। तो इसमें 60% मेरी इनकम है और 40% मेरा। हाँ।
Patidar claims one of the reasons to start his own dairy was to supply unadulterated milk. He claims many in the region are following his footsteps. Bureau Report, India Today.
The KCR versus Vyas Sharmila showdown is back in focus. This after Vyas Sharmila resumed her padayatra in Telangana after recently receiving a nod from the High Court. But ahead of the yatra, Sharmila was seen holding up a shoe box. And in her press conference there, while showing that particular box, the pair of shoes, she threw an open dare to Chief Minister KCR, saying, "We'll give you the shoes, join our padayatra and know what problems plague the public." This padayatra, remember, resumed today from Narsampet, the same place where she'd stopped her yatra earlier, claiming an attack on her convoy, which spurred that mega showdown with the Telangana government. We've spoken exclusively to Vyas Sharmila. Let's get you that conversation.
We are joined by YSRTP President Vice Sharmila. Madam, after 222 days of struggle, today you are back on your yatra. How are you feeling? What is the response?
After completing 3,500 kilometers of padayatra, my padayatra came to a halt because the BRS party, KCR's Gundas, attempted to burn my bus and created havoc, created the law and order situation, put the blame on me and had me arrested. And after that, you all know how I wanted to parade those vehicles before the CMO and where it got towed away. You also know how I went on a hunger strike without even having a sip of water. And after all that, after that we are here to resume the Padayatra today at the same place where it came to a halt. And you are seeing the people, how they are welcoming us. This only means that the people are also fed up with the KCR's regime.
Then today's announcement that you have made, you have also called KCR to join your yatra for a day. What is it about that?
It's an open challenge to Mr. KCR. He claims that Telangana model is an amazing model and he wants to emulate it all over the country, and that's why he's launched the BRS party. My challenge to KCR is come one day to your own state where you are the Chief Minister. If you can prove that there are no problems to the people of Telangana, then I will retire from politics, I will apologize to KCR and go back home. But my challenge to KCR is if there are problems, if the people are reeling under poverty, if the farmers are committing suicides, if the youth is waiting for jobs, people are waiting for pensions, if all this is true, then Mr. KCR himself has to apologize to the people of Telangana. He has to resign and make a Dalit a Chief Minister as he promised.
What is it about the shoes, madam? The shoes that you have gifted, a gift of shoes, what does this symbolize?
That is just a symbolic gesture. That is just challenging Mr. KCR.
Any message that you're giving him?
Yeah, because when my father was the Chief Minister, there was the Praja Darbar. In the Praja Darbar, people used to come and meet the Chief Minister, my father, at least for half an hour every single day.
Yes, ma'am.
Every single day. But that opportunity is not there in this KCR's rule. That's why I'm saying this is a dictatorship. This is tyranny. That's why Mr. KCR has to come and see the plight of the people. So it was just a symbolic gesture, challenging him to come and see what real Telangana is.
Can we see this yatra as in an election mode, madam, now that assembly elections are going to approach? And what is the party stand? How many seats is the party expecting to gain victory, and how many seats are you contesting?
So close to the elections, yes, everything will get into the election mode even though you don't want it to. But YSR Telangana party is going to contest from all the 119 seats in Telangana.
So what is the number that you are expecting, ma'am?
We are going to come to power.
So now that we see that the opposition has also stated that several allegations have come up to the party, to you, madam, especially when your brother is the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. So anything that you want to say about it?
No comments.
No. So this was YSRTP Chief Vice Sharmila, madam, on her 224th day of a Padayatra, resumes today from Narsampet and moving towards the other districts in the state. With camera person Damodar, Abdul Bashir, Hyderabad.
And with that exclusive, I'm slipping into a short break here on 6 p.m. Prime. Coming up on the other side is a special report on the Padma Awards, or the People's Padma, as it's very often called right now, on two snake catchers in the state of Tamil Nadu who are being awarded the Padma Shri. We tell you about their story in just a bit. Parts of Himachal Pradesh, including Manali, Shimla and Auli, as well as Kashmir, have received fresh snowfall. Let's get you all the images coming in. A massive avalanche hit the upper reaches of Jammu and Kashmir ski resort Gulmarg, killing 2 Polish tourists and trapping 21 skiers who were later rescued from the slopes. Videos of the avalanche showing people running for their lives has gone viral. Rescue operations are currently underway in the area. The ski slopes where the avalanche happened have now been declared a no-go zone. Avalanches have been frequent in the higher reaches of Kashmir in these months, especially after fresh snowfall. Uttarakhand's Rudraprayag has also witnessed snowfall, snow-capped mountains and a white carpet continues to attract large number of tourists. Even after the snowfall, the weather remained pleasant with temperatures hovering around 6 degrees. Another tourist hotspot, Auli in the Chamoli district of Uttarakhand, is freezing at -3 degrees Celsius after heavy snowfall. This has turned the district into a winter wonderland. Snowfall was also reported in Uttarakhand's Bageshwar. Sky remained cloudy and fog continued to envelop the district throughout the day. The cold has intensified and in most villages there's been heavy snowfall as well.
RRR is on a record-breaking spree. It has been an eventful time for the makers of RRR as the film won 4 nominations at HCA Film Awards. The official Twitter handle of RRR shared the happy news and wrote, "The nomination spree continues. RRR bags 4 nominations at the HCA Film Awards. Thank you so much, jury, for recognizing RRR movie." While S.S. Rajamouli won a nomination in the Best Director category, the film was nominated in 3 others, including Best Picture, Best Action Film and Best International Film. And recently, adding to the list of awards and recognition, the LA Film Critics Association Awards was conferred to the Natu Natu music director M.M. Kiravani for Best Music Score Original.
What is Natu? పొలం గట్టు దుమ్ములో నా పోట్ల గిత్త దూకినట్టు పొలేరమ్మ జాతరలో పోతరాజు ఊగినట్టు గిర్రు సెప్పులేసుకొని కర్ర సాము చేసినట్టు మర్రి సొట్టు నీడలోన కుర్ర గుంపు కూడినట్టు ఎర్ర జొన్న రొట్టెలోన మిరప తొక్కు కలిపినట్టు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నా పాట చూడు నాటు 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 వీర నాటు.
He beat Pavel Mikhailton for EO to bag this award. Unfortunately, S.S. Rajamouli could not bag the Best Director award and missed it by a whisker to Todd Field, who won it for Tar. However, he did win the New York Film Critics Circle Award for the Best Director. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
This was the culmination of the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Srinagar on Monday. The journey of reinvention has seen many images, many faces of Rahul Gandhi. When he set out on the 4,000-kilometer Yatra, a clean-shaven Rahul was the man on a mission. To unite the country was the stated agenda, but to tide over upcoming elections was the bigger goal. That goal required political muscle, so all Congress leaders put their weight behind the Gandhi heir. If the aim of the Yatra was to showcase Rahul as a man fit to take on Modi in 2024, it was also to showcase his human side, the people connect, the one loved by kids and youth alike. A family man, a doting son and a brother. An animal lover, a man who could walk with Aam Aadmi and the Khas Aadmi alike. A man of faith, a Shiv Bhakt, a secular face. As the Yatra continued, the beard started to grow. The look changed, but the white t-shirt remained, even in the biting Delhi cold. But then a jacket was added, later a cap, and finally a firan. Whether these viral images translate into viral votes is something India will be waiting for and watching. Bureau Report, India Today.
On Republic Day, India honoured 106 people with the Padma Awards. 2 of them are snake catchers from Tamil Nadu. They belong to the Irula tribe, which largely resides in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka and Kerala. They are ancient snake catchers. We spoke to Masi and Vadivel of the tribe. They have been chosen for their remarkable contribution to society and environment. They follow the traditional ways. They say we're not scared of snakes, we worship them. I'm leaving you with this report by Pramod Madhav. Thank you for tuning in.
Masi Sadaiya and Vadivel Gopal have made the Irula community proud. They have been conferred prestigious Padma Awards this Republic Day. They are the representatives of the ancient Dravidian community of Irula tribe. The tribe is mainly concentrated in the northern Tamil Nadu. A group of them live in Karnataka and another in Palakkad of Kerala. They are famous as snake and rat catchers. This fame made the government of Florida invite Masi and Vadivel to the US to catch pythons in 2017. Burmese python not native to Florida, but India was wreaking havoc in the state, and the government spent nearly $70,000 to bring Masi and Vadivel along with translators all the way from Tamil Nadu to catch them. And so did they with remarkable success.
எனக்கு வந்து பாம்பு தொழில் தான் ரொம்ப பாரம்பரியம் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். எங்கள் அப்பா அம்மா கூட 16 வயசுலேருந்தே நான் தொடர்ந்து இந்த பாம்பு பிடிக்கணுன்ற ஆசை எனக்கு ஆரோக்கியமாக கற்றுக் கொடுத்தாரு எங்கள் அப்பா அம்மா. நம்ம வந்து பயப்படாத தைரியமாக நின்று இது என்ன நம்மளை பண்ணோம் அப்படின்ற ஒரு தைரியம் இருந்தால் பாம்பு நம்மளை விசங்க பொறுமையாக தான் சால்வ் பண்ணணும், பொறுமையாக போயிட்டு இருக்கேன்.
உயிர் பனி வச்சு தான் சார் பிடிக்கிறோம். நாங்கள் பாம்பு பிடிக்கிறதுன்னா அவ்வளோ சுலபமாக கிடையாது. உயிர் பனி வச்சு தான் பிடிக்கிறோம். அந்த தொழில் கச்சால இறந்துருவோம். அந்த அளவுக்கு நாங்கள் அந்த பாம்பை உஷாராக கண்டுபிடிச்சி பிடிப்போம். கடிச்சிருக்கு சார், எங்களை ஒரு சுரட்டை பாம்பு கடிச்சிருக்கு.
என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க பாம்பு கடிச்ச உடனே?
பாம்பு கடிச்சாக்கா எங்கள் பச்சால மூலிகை நாங்கள் கொஞ்சம் சாப்பிட்டு அப்புறம் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல் மூலிமா போயிடுவோம்.
Yet they continue to follow this tradition. Even Irula women are part of this.
நாங்கள் வந்து வயல் காட்டில் போகும்போது பெண்கள் வந்து கூடையை எடுத்து ஒயர் கூடை எடுத்து பின்னாடி மாட்டிங்கன்னு இழப்புறா எங்களுக்கு வருவாங்க. பாம்பை நாங்கள் பார்த்துட்டோமா அந்த பக்கம் போகுதுன்னா நீங்கள் அப்படி வாங்கணும் போது அவங்கள பார்த்து பாம்பு எங்கள் பக்கம் வந்தால் தான் நாங்கள் அது மூவ் பண்ண முடியலன்னா அது தவறிவிடும், போகிறதே தெரியாது பில்லில். அதுமாரி எங்களுக்கு வந்து அன்றைக்கி காலத்துலேருந்து இன்னைக்கு காலத்து வரைக்கும்.
The Irula tribe now runs the Irula Cooperative Society, where they catch snakes and extract venoms for medicinal purposes.
We see them in the wild and all that, but we do not know people who are behind it. That these are the people from the local community who risk their lives every day. They go out and they catch these snakes and all that and they bring. So when you look at the wild, when you save lives by administering this, you should also think of the people who are behind it.
It took another 5 years for the government of India to recognize these men and their contribution to the society and environment. Both Masi and Vadivel hope that the Padma Awards will benefit their community in future.
எனக்கு வந்து பெரிய ஆரோக்கியமாக இருக்குது. அந்த அவார்டு எனக்கு வருமான்ற எதிர் எனக்கு இல்லை. நான் என்றைக்குமே சாதாரணமாக நம்ம வேலை செய்கிற மாரி இந்த வகையில் கொண்டு வருவாங்கன்றது அன்றைக்கி தெரியல, இன்றைக்கி தெரியுது சார்.
எங்களுக்கு வேலை வாய்ப்பு இந்த உலகத்தில் எவ்வளோ எங்கள் மக்கள் நிறைய பேர் இருக்கிறாங்க சார். அந்த மக்களுங்க துணி வேறு வேஷம், துண்டு ஒரு வேஷம், இல்லை ஏரிக்கரையில், குளத்தங்கரையில், கொட்டைக்கரையில் இதுமாரி தான் வாங்கின்னு வராங்க. வாங்கின்னு வரவங்களுக்கு அவங்களுக்கு எங்களால் அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு நன்மை கிடைக்கிட்டேன்னு நாங்கள்.
And the person here is holding a glass vial which carries the venom from the bandit kite. And the interesting factor is that it was Masi and Vadivel who were responsible for catching these snakes from the wild, bringing it out here, and thereby being one of the most important aspect of creating the anti-venom and saving lives, thousands of lives across India. And that's why they were conferred with Padma Shri. Ms. Divyan, Pramod Madhav for India Today.
university founded by the world's first non-European Nobel laureate. More than 100 years later, Visva-Bharati at Rabindranath Tagore's Shanti Niketan locked in a land dispute with another Nobel Prize winner, Professor Amartya Sen. The university has accused the 90-year-old of occupying a portion of campus land in excess of his entitlement. Professor Sen has disputed the claim and accused the central institution of harassment. Earlier this week, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee stepped in. She stood beside the elderly economist, a vocal critic of the Modi government and the BJP. The CM produced land records she insisted supported Professor Sen's complete entitlement of the land under his possession. The Chief Minister also alleged saffronization attempts on Visva-Bharati's campus. The West Bengal Chief Minister sought Prime Minister Narendra Modi's intervention, saying she would write a formal letter to him in this regard. The university has responded. Visva-Bharati has instead accused the state chief minister of listening to sycophants. A new political war in West Bengal with an academic institution and icons at its center. Bureau Report, India Today.
भारत के वित्त मंत्री निर्मला सीतारमण जी ने इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को हाईएस्ट प्रायोरिटी दी है। हमारा बजट भी काफ़ी बड़ा हुआ है, जिसके कारण आने वाले समय में हिंदुस्तान के रोड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में जो हमने निर्धार व्यक्त किया कि वर्ल्ड स्टैंडर्ड के रोड बनेंगे, वो उद्दिष्ट हम निश्चित रूप से पूरा कर सकेंगे। ग्रीन एनर्जी, ग्रीन पावर, हर जगह पर जो ग्रीन बात के उल्लेख किया गया, वो हमारी इकोलॉजी एंड एनवायरनमेंट को प्रोटेक्ट करने की दृष्टि से एक बहुत बड़ी पहल है। मैं मानता हूँ कि इस बजट की विशेषता ये है कि हमारे आम आदमी के जीवन में जो एयर पोल्यूशन, वाटर पोल्यूशन की जो समस्याएं गंभीर है, वो ग्रीन अप्रोच के कारण निश्चित रूप में हमारे क्वालिटी लाइफ में काफ़ी बड़ा सुधार होगा। मिडिल क्लास के बारे में सोचा नहीं जाता था, इस बार पहली बार मिडिल क्लास को भी काफ़ी राहत दी गई है। गांव, गरीब, मजदूर और किसान का कल्याण करने वाला और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में आत्मनिर्भर भारत का सपना पूरा करने वाला और हिंदुस्तान को वर्ल्ड की इकोनॉमी में एक सुपर इकोनॉमिक पावर बनाने के लिए ले जाने वाला ऐसा ये बजट है। स्क्रैपिंग के लिए जो विशेष रूप से हमारी रिसाइकलिंग इंडस्ट्री थी, उसके बारे में राज्य सरकार और भारत सरकार दोनों जगह अब नई गाड़ी आएगी, जिससे प्रदूषण कम होगा और निश्चित रूप से स्क्रैपिंग के कार्य को भी काफ़ी बड़े इससे शुरुआत हो जाएगी। बहुत अच्छा बजट निर्मला जी ने दिया है, मैं उनका बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं और ये बजट प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हिंदुस्तान को भविष्य में प्रगति और विकास की ओर ले जाएगा, ऐसा विश्वास व्यक्त करता हूं।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Tonight at 9 p.m. on the news today with me, Rajdeep Sardesai. The complete free fall in Adani stocks now echoes in Parliament. The opposition claims it's a scam. The Congress wants a joint parliamentary committee, even as the government refuses to break its silence on the issue. Should the market regulator SEBI now step in and investigate? And what will be the political fallout of the Adani shock? That's going to be a big talking point on the news today. Also, just what does the new tax regime mean for you as a taxpayer? And we'll bring you an India Today impact, just how a hockey player who was a daily laborer could now be getting a job. All that and much more on the news today.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching Mission 2024. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Before we get to the top story, which many would say is all business, but there's so much politics in all of it. Let me take you through the headlines first. Adani stocks in the red hours after its FPO was revoked. Market regulators to probe the route. RBI to put Adani Group on the watch list. As Adani FPO called off, sources say India's market regulator is examining a rout in the shares of Adani. RBI too puts Adani in the watch list. Auspicious